Good evening and welcome to our second live video journal Czech Center, New York. At a time when our home venue, the Bohemian National Hall in Manhattan, remains closed, we are broadcasting our summer live programs from the safe haven of our homes in New York. My name is Kotyza, your host tonight. We are following all guidelines for the COVID pandemic, but at the same time, we are here to fulfill our chief goal, to promote Czech culture in the US and all across North America. We are trying to introduce one New York City-based Czech artist and use this opportunity to tell you what else we are preparing online at the Czech Center, New York. Today's guest is a successful Czech artist, designer, and filmmaker living in Brooklyn, New York, Radka Salcmannová, who received much attention during the pandemic when she started making very unique and impressive face masks. Radka is known for her bold approach in pushing the boundaries of contemporary visual design. Radka's studio, RS Visual Thing, focuses on the cross-section between art, cinematography, fashion, and experimental installations. She presented her designs at the Los Angeles Fashion Week in 2016, where Vogue magazine recognized her as a must-know designer. She also worked for the award-winning artist Matthew Barney on installations for his opera film River of Fundament in 2014. Please enjoy an interview with Radka Salcmannová by director of the Czech Center, New York. It was recorded in the Central Park in front of the famous Alice in Wonderland statue. Go take a look.
Hello, Radka. Is it you? Yes. My name is Mirek Konvalina. Isn't it symbolic, in front of the
Alice in Wonderland?
Yes.
Yeah.
We have a meeting for an interview for the Czech Center, New York. If you don't mind, we can take...
No, please, it's really, really hot.
It's really hot here in New York, like every summer, but this summer is really special.
Yeah.
So where and how have you been spending your
quarantine?
quarantine the last couple of months?
Well, last couple of months, I've been locked in New York City.
In your Brooklyn apartment?
In my Brooklyn apartment, yeah, in our Brooklyn apartment. So, luckily we have like nice big place, so we kind of avoid the situation to be completely crazy, because I can imagine for people who live in bad conditions or worst condition, they could easily get completely mad.
It was really difficult situation for New York, for New Yorkers. So I'm glad that you were safe and healthy and everything went well. Or I'm like we are young, so we were not really afraid. And we were sick already on the beginning of the pandemic, so now I feel like hero. We actually feel like, okay, we already passed that, we survived, that's okay. Okay, let's start with your American career a couple of years ago, because you already did some amazing things and shows, and you were involved in projects with the art icons and with many interesting people. So can you mention your career until, March of 2020?
Until March? Well, last year was really hectic for me because I had show at LA Fashion Week and New York Fashion Week, LA Fashion Week when I was creating my own show and entire show plus fashion collection, and then I had my exhibition in Berlin, then I had exhibition back in New York, then I had project in Spain with a few photographers, and then I had project in Prague with Absolute Vodka. We did this recycled sculpture. And then I had a show, I was part of the Scope. That was
the art show here in New York.
The art show here in New York. And that was actually basically 2 or 3 days before everything was shut down.
I know, but
explain me, some Czech artists are dreaming to be part of the fashion show, but some others are dreaming to be part of Scope, I don't know, in Miami or in New York.
Yeah.
But how it comes that you are able in 1 year to participate in these two completely different events?
Well, that's a good question. Well, I think it's because I'm an artist at the first place, so my work is really mixing different medium, and I was not originally involved too much into fashion as a designer. My first few jobs in New York, I was working at New York Fashion Week as an assistant or art director, and set director. So that's how I got into fashion. But originally I'm still artist, so I'm combined both of these mediums, and that just happened by coincidence that everything happened in one time.
So what is the secret? Because so many people are eager to, be successful in New York and to make it to one of these major events you already mentioned. So what is the trick?
I think you have to work really hard. You also cannot have fear. I think you have to just be able to take any risk. And especially in New York, I think you have to sacrifice everything what you would normally don't want to sacrifice, include your health, for example, because when you work, you just work. That's it, nothing else. And that's lots of really important and difficult decision what not everybody, I think, is able to do. You have to be a little bit maybe harsh on yourself.
Okay, tell me more about your masks, because it's not that you made and saw mask right after the pandemic started, but as an artist you already created some masks.
Well, the mask I started already 5 or 6 years ago, because I was creating these small experimental movies for my own purposes, and of course I didn't have any money, I didn't know any actors, so I was taking part in this experimental films, but I'm not an actor and I'm extremely shy in front of camera, so I started to putting mask on my face. That was the first and original purpose. I didn't know, nobody I think knew that this mask will transform into way how I will go with my career. That suddenly all the magazines started to asking me who made the mask, and the fashion world started to ask me who made the mask. And then when I did the mask, I said, well, maybe I can create more and I can make a little bit the fashion. So it's all come somehow naturally from a mask. Yeah, together.
So intention was to provoke, or there was some
no.
To evoke emotions, or
no? I just want first of all I wanted to hide
behind the mask,
because there is a beautiful things about mask. You hide, but in the moment when you actually hide yourself, you are much more yourself. Your true self is coming up, because you lose this shyness, what this person or this person will think about that. You are not afraid of judgment from the others, so you expressing yourself much more and probably more natural.
Okay, so the first ever these symbolic masks, and then this health situation and all the concerns came, and you just started as most Czech women and some American women to sew utility masks.
Well, that was pretty much. It's really funny that it's also a mask, I would never, nobody would never think about that. But of course, I was inspired by Czech Republic, because in Czech Republic everything was happen like much faster than here. When people in Czech Republic was already wearing masks and protecting themselves, in New York nobody was wearing masks. Nobody protect themselves. You know, like we were only like 2 last people in entire New York who was wearing masks, me and my boyfriend. So the last day before everything was shut down, I went to fashion district and I bought some fabric. I didn't know like how many
how much you need.
you know, like how many yards I should buy. So I just bought something, and that happened. Yeah.
So, and how many masks people are calling?
Yeah.
You know, and what about the distribution? Because there was the city under lockdown.
Well, I'm not really good with marketing. I just spread like friends and people on my social media. Just, hey, I'm making this. I'm really bored. We are locked down. I'm making this mask because otherwise I would get crazy. So we did around like 500 masks. And then when you do that like alone and your entire apartment become to be factory, after 1 month, like I was going a little bit crazy. I didn't want to see any mask anymore.
So, but let's speak about something positive. So we are almost in the end of July. New York is doing much better than you know, in these first 2 or 3 months. So is there something positive you know, you learned during this month, or about people, about art, about society?
No.
No?
There is nothing really like you know, I think everyone's already tired. People are really anxious and they are in kind of like limbo, because nobody really like know what is the next step for all of us, you know. Like for my industry, the art industry, it's more than probably like shut down until end of the year. So that's basically mean lots of artists and creative people has to somehow change the direction how they work, or how they earning money, or what they actually like doing with their life. So it's a big question mark in front of all of us right now, I think.
Yeah, you know, the summer is the time when many New Yorkers are leaving for Europe or for upstate New York or all around the United States, and the schools are closed. But right now, also some artists already announced that you know, they are leaving, like musicians or artists, New York or big cities for longer. So what are your plans?
Well, I'm not leaving, that's for sure, because we have the strategy with my boyfriend, and I think that's true, that after every down time, something really good is coming, you know. And when you look at people in New York, that's usually people who are ambitious, who are hungry, who are hardworking, all of them. So something really good, I think, will come up from this. Probably not this year, but I really guessing that 2021 and 2022, it's gonna be really amazing here.
Okay.
Well, that's what I think.
Yeah, I wish you all the best. You know,
you.
I hope we will meet in Wonderland.
Wonderland.
There is also always the opportunity after hard times. So let's believe that we can meet together. We are all hungry to meet our audiences and you to display your art and to continue your work. So good luck and see you in better times.
Děkuju, Mirku. A reminder, you can also follow us on our website, subscribe to our newsletter, or check out our social media once in a while. Last time, we introduced our online exhibition, Still Cities. It will remain on our Czech Center New York website until the end of the week. It shows Prague in April through the lens Karel Cudlin, as well as pictures taken here in New York by 5 young American photographers. Have you ever heard of the Czech stop motion method? It is an animation technique. Objects are physically manipulated and photographed on a single frame so they appear to move on their own. This technique has an outstanding and long tradition in the Czech Republic. There are no less than 4 schools which teach this method in a country of 10 million people. And these schools produce future animation Oscar winners, like this year's nominee for her short animated drama Daughter by Daria Kashchiva. On our website, www.czechcenter.com, we are introducing these 4 schools as well as the International Zlín Film Festival for children and youth. This week, we also have a new project on our Czech Center New York web, and it is about Czech restaurants in New York and about their struggle in these odd months. They became the only open venues for Czech culture and events, but they are opened only for outside seating. You can see what's up at the Bohemian Spirit restaurant in Manhattan, as well as Bohemian Beer and Garden in Astoria. You are watching our Summer Live video journal made possible by the Czech Center New York and our partner, Třebíč Whiskey, the first Czech single malt whiskey sold on the US market. Thank you to our wonderful audience for your great reactions on Czech Center New York social media. We hope we will be able to move this program somewhere outside in the following weeks, weather permitting. Before we say goodbye, we have a cultural tip for you. It is an exhibition on display at the National Czech and Slovak Museum and Library in Cedar Rapids, which is called Artists as Activists. It's an exhibition prepared by the New York-based Czech curator Charlotta Kotík, and it features artists who respond to political oppression through their work. This exhibition brings the works of internationally recognized contemporary artists, including Ai Weiwei, David Černý, Juanma Garcia, Tania Buguera, and others, most of which have never been on exhibition in Iowa before. You can read more about the exhibition on our web, czechcenter.com. And that's all for tonight. My name is Anička Kotyzová. The director of the show is Miroslav Konvalina, technician Marek Šoltis, special expert assistants Helena Goltna. It's been wonderful to see you. We'll have to do this again sometime soon. Very well, from all of us to all of you, thank you. And thanks to our friends and supporters, and also to our guest, Radka Salcmannová. And see you next time. Ciao, ciao!